How about those Cowboys? That was fairly unexpected, I think, on Monday Night Football. Got a lot of Cowboys bandwagon jumpers jumping back on board. The Cowboys with a road win in the playoffs, first time in a long time. Their last win, Troy Aikman was quarterback, was at Candlestick Park, San Francisco, against the 49ers, of course, in a muddy game. Cowboys beat the Buccaneers Monday Night Football, put Tom Brady away, and they move on to their next game, which is a road game against the 49ers in San Francisco at new Levi's Stadium, and that's going to be a tough one, no doubt about it. Seahawks play a way different brand of football than anybody else in the NFL. They are a ball control team. They run the ball. They've got a stacked backfield led by Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and making big cock Brock Purdy look like a Pro Bowler. Let's talk about that guy for a minute. Sohail, I know you don't like sports, but have you ever heard the term Mr. Irrelevant when it comes to the NFL, the National Football League? You ever heard that term,
no,
Mr.
never.
Irrelevant?
Nope.
Okay, so you're familiar with how they pick players in the NFL? They draft them, right? The best players get picked first. In fact, we've had Reggie McNeil on. He was drafted. We're having Sean Oakman on the show here in a couple of weeks. He was a former projected to be round one, pick one from Baylor, edge rusher, defensive end, Sean Oakman, coming on the JESS MARSHALL podcast in a couple of weeks. I'm stoked about that. So what happens is, in the first round of the NFL draft, the team with the worst record from the year before automatically gets the first pick, and then the teams will all jostle for position. They'll trade picks, and usually the Super Bowl winning team gets the last pick in the first draft, and the worst team from the previous season gets the first pick. Well, Brock Purdy, who played at Iowa State for the great Matt Campbell, he's a quarterback, and he was the last pick of the last round in the NFL draft, and they named that pick Mr. Irrelevant, which means obviously not much expected of you, kind of a throwaway pick, usually picks from round about the middle of the third round all the way through the end of the last round. Those players are, if they hit and they're good players, that's a bonus. Most teams don't expect much from those late round picks. Brock Purdy.
So Mr. Irrelevant doesn't mean a bad thing, right?
It doesn't mean bad, but it just means not much is expected of him. And his new nickname, which is apparently not a new nickname, is Big Cock Brock, because he is just tearing it up and looks like a 10-year veteran, making great decisions. And, you know, when you walk it, he's a rookie. When you walk on the field and you're looking around at other Pro Bowl grown-ass men, the best at their position, guys like Christian McCaffrey, guys like Deebo Samuel, guys on defense like Joey Bosa, those guys do not want to see fear looking back from them from Mr. Irrelevant, and Brock Purdy showed up on the scene. He popped his collar and he said, let's fucking go. And the 49ers, my Seahawks hung with them last week in round one, but last 20 minutes of that game, last 5 minutes of the third quarter and the entire fourth quarter, the 49ers just laid it on them, and they run that ball control defense. Ball control, if you're not familiar with football, means you are holding the ball on offense longer than the other team. More possessions, more plays, obviously, and longer time. And that means the other team, their defense gets worn down. Their offense is standing on the sidelines getting frustrated watching because there's nothing they can do about it. And the way that San Francisco has been doing that is running the ball. So they run the ball, no pressure on Brock. He's making great throws, though, taking pressure off the running game, keeping the secondary honest, getting Kittle involved, one of the best tight ends in the league. It's going to be a very, very difficult, tall task for the Dallas Cowboys to go on the road to Levi's Stadium, which isn't even in San Fran. It's like an hour away from the Bay Area. To go in there and come out of San Fran with a win would be a massive statement